blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The dungeon labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
When Alex became a god, he thought he would have no problems at all. Until... he landed in the divine dimension and was tasked with protecting the entire multiverse.
Am I connected to every single Alex Ambrose that ever existed?
Alex could travel across dimensions, defying the laws of time and space, to help other Alexes throughout the multiverse. But then everything changed.
No! Aw!
I have to go back and save them.
But if Alex went back to the mortal world, he would relinquish all of his power and his memories.
I don't have a choice. I must go back.
When Alex returned back to Earth, he goes back to being your average business tycoon millionaire, unaware that the people he cared most about are in danger.
Someone help me!
Yvonne, what happened?
I was attacked by a monster. Alex? What's going on? Get away from him! He is my boyfriend!
Who attacked Yvonne in the forest? What will Debbie do next? Who will Alex choose between the two women? Will Alex ever remember who he was before traveling into a different multiverse? To hear what happens next and whether Alex can stop the deranged monster before he strikes again, listen to the original audio drama, Insta Millionaire Returns, only on Pocket FM. Download the app now and find out.
Presentation.
Welcome to Homestead-Miami Speedway here on a Sunday evening. Hope you are well wherever you are. My name is Tommy Cook, and we're just messing around here today as my race in real life got rained out. Mother Nature claiming another one, so I am claiming my Sunday back here. With 60 laps around Homestead-Miami Speedway, a little ICRca action here on Turn 200 for the very first time. We got a decent little crop of drivers, some drivers new to the channel, other drivers, very familiar names that you'll be seeing here on this 1.5 mile oval in southern Florida. Let's get you to the track here. Appreciate anybody that's hanging out with us as we're listening to the Mullet Music Productions. 50 minutes of open qualifying is what we've had here this afternoon. Brody Gunter just put up the fast lap. Scott Patton, who I don't think I can only think of one time that they've ever been in the same race, but that was on a road course. This is an oval race, so Gunter v. Patton, if anything, should be the draw here to help folks come and hang out and stay, because these are two of the best that we have on the channel. Gunter, the winningest driver. Patton is not too far behind him. He's led the most laps on the channel. So this is going to be an exciting matchup. Nathan Carroll hanging out with us here as well. Paul Ellison is out on the track. Lots of Tuesday v. Thursday drivers in this lineup. As a hello to Robin Matichek. Thanks for checking in. Thank you for cheering on the action here. As qualifying is set to wrap up here in 30 seconds. How about Nathan Carroll putting himself on the top of the board here? We'll have one more opportunity, but he is going to roll out of it. As long as you start a lap by the time the clock has 1 second on it, you are allowed to come around and finish it in open qualifying conditions. I think we're going to have about 10 drivers. You see 14 times up there on the board, but a few of those drivers have checked out for the night. We just had 2 more drivers join in the final seconds before the lobby closed. They're not going to get qualifying laps in, but they are here at least. Nobody has anything for Nathan Carroll's time. Carroll also turning the most laps in practice. Very tricky conditions here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. It's a tough track to begin with, let alone in the Gen 4 car with the new additions of the Gen 4 Monte Carlo and the Ford Taurus. This will be the Ford Taurus's first appearance on turn 200. So that should about wrap it up. We'll get into the race specifics here momentarily, but it'll be time to hit the starting grid at Homestead-Miami Speedway in the Gen 4 car. Nathan Carroll with the pole. It's Brody Gunter to his outside. Scott Patton and Jan Van Leer on row number 2. It's Paul Ellison. Larry Eddy scheduled to start in 6th. He left the session earlier. Not sure if he ever came back. Same for Jordan Babinger and Marcus Cunningham. Not sure if either of them are here. Jordan Journeau is here. He'll line up tentatively on the inside of row number 5. Carter Whalen checked out a while ago as well. Cody Anderwald and Caden Golo there on row number 6. Matthew Wilson and Dustin Green on row 7. And the 2 drivers that just joined the session moments ago, Steven Rosenberg and Scott Leonard. So 8 rows, I would imagine we can get that down to 5 as we take a look at the weather conditions here on a partly cloudy afternoon at Homestead-Miami Speedway track. Conditions have fluctuated a bit. 100 degrees right now. It was as high as 115 earlier. There is 1 set of tires in the pits for these drivers. 60 laps the race distance here. That is not enough or that is too many laps rather to make it on 1 tank of fuel. So these drivers going to have to be very particular about when they bring this car down pit road. If you could do it under green, if you could do it under caution, but the only 1 set of tires awaits you. And unlike most league races that we have here on the channel, we do have 1 fast repair sitting in the pits as well. As we'll fade out the Mullet Music Productions and get the low growl of this Gen 4 car. Love that. And the drivers that are here will be able to grid up and roll away. What lies in store for these 10 drivers? Just a random race on a Sunday afternoon. No stakes. Other than potentially a channel victory, if that means anything to some of these drivers. Nathan Carroll and Brody Gunter on the front row. Scott Patton and Jan Van Leer on row 2. Marcus Cunningham and Paul Ellison on the third row. Jordan Journeau, Cody Anderwald, and Matthew Wilson. We'll get after it here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. We're underway. Good start for Gunter, able to get a bit of a gap going down the backstretch over Nathan Carroll. Patton tucks in third there, as that was, I think, Cunningham that had a handful. As Carroll right up on the Larson-Reddick line there on the top side. Patton trying to look underneath, can't get anything going. He's got Jan Van Leer now down to his inside as Brody Gunter leads the opening lap. I think there's a lot of stock you can put in taking it easy here, especially with a car that is not loving the handle, as there goes one to the inside wall. That is Cody Anderwald. Bounce it off an angled part of the wall there. Pretty uncomfortable. Taking it easy here for these first few laps might not be such a bad idea. As you can see, Jan yawned it out there on the back end out of four. Gunter with a 7/10 of a second lead and just turned in quite the lap at the front of this field in clean air. Here is Scott Patton to the inside of the 0-1 of Nathan Carroll. It's Jan Van Leer in front of him. But Patton will get clear as you can see some smoke, some remnants from another incident with Cody Anderwald, who has taken it back to the pits. There's Gunter's lead, already a second over Jan Van Leer. As here is Jordan Journeau now taking a look to the inside of Nathan Carroll. Journeau into the top five, trying to pick off fourth. The one driver off in the distance back there was Matthew Wilson. Everybody else is somewhat attached here. As it looks like Cody Anderwald is going to rejoin the field here multiple laps down, but has taken his fast repair at least. It's Carroll on this top side. As Carroll flirting with the wall, and I think that was more than a flirt. I think he got it. And Journeau is going to complete this pass. Paul Ellison is now underneath the 0-1. And that is a two-spot swing for Nathan Carroll, who's moving the wrong direction here, trying to run this top side. So difficult. Cody Anderwald is back down pit road, as Steven Rosenberg missed the start of the race, but he will head out to the track 8 laps down. But he is on the board here at Homestead. Get him a little TV time just to prove that he was here in case he needs it for an alibi or something. That's Steven Rosenberg. Here's Scott Patton on Jan Van Leer. He has reeled him in quite quickly. Whoa, that is Jordan Journeau tracking it all the way down to the inside line there down the backstretch. And you wonder why Patton was maybe backing off his true pace there early. His car is looking a little bit more steady than some of the folks around him. He might have saved up his stuff quite nicely. Again, especially if it goes green. You know, maybe if this were a caution fest, we would be talking a little bit different strategy. But, you know, this is going to be 60 laps caution-free, potentially. One pit stop is going to be necessary. Do you cut it right up the middle? Do you run it out? Do you come as early as possible and try and burn your stuff up early on the first run and try and go long on the second run? There's a lot to consider here, and how you're feeling may very well be tied to where you are in the running order. As Journeau and Carroll having a nice little battle here for fifth. Jordan sliding up in front of the 0-1, and Carroll going to cross him back over out of 2. Good stuff. As we go back to Jan in pursuit of Scott Patton here for second. 1.6 seconds, the gap up to Brody Gunter. You can see just a little dot up there. That is the race leader. Patton trying to keep Jan pinned down low. But Patton will drift up the track now. And they stay side by side up front. Or rather for second. Carroll and Journeau again side by side as JVL will take this spot back. And Carroll will take it out right down the backstretch again on Journeau. Oh, and problems for Marcus Cunningham. We're still green, but up into the wall. So easy to do. And I think it's just going to bring it to a stop on the flat of the backstretch as to not trigger a caution. But that will more than likely be his race here. Whoa, and that is Jan down below the apron on the backstretch, getting very, very loose. We're only 15 laps in. These drivers are struggling mightily with the handle. This thing looks like it goes from plowing tight to ice skating loose in an instant. And from a few laps in a private test session, I could confirm this is quite the beast handling-wise. Paul Ellison pulling up onto this battle. Jan wrapping that white line at the bottom of this track. Patton slowly migrating from the middle to the top side. But still trying to keep Jan pinned down low there. And now we'll tuck into line behind him. Second, third, and fourth all right here together. They're all 2 seconds behind Brody Gunter, who's running his Cars Tour Pro late model-esque paint scheme on the 24 machine. Ooh, again, Jan open into the wall there, out of 2. as Ellison is underneath of Patton for third. And Ellison going to clear Patton, who will take a bit of a run down, trying to pack it in on that rear spoiler. What a great car track combo. Jan picked it. But man, it doesn't get much better than Gen 4s at Homestead. These drivers are absolutely wheeling these things. Oh, and a kiss of the wall there for Ellison. And that will cost him the third position for now. I'm sure he'll get right back to it here. Jan, focusing forward now, has slowly chipped away at the lead. It is now only 2 seconds, but still 2 seconds has a lot to overcome for Jan in this dirty air. Jordan Journeau back through on Nathan Carroll a few laps ago and now has some separation, or had it. He just had to get out of the throttle there in the middle of 3 and 4, and Carroll is bringing a run right back to him. Speeds at right around 190 miles an hour there, even on the worn tires into turn number 1. On paper, these two sets of turns are equal, but we say it every time we come to Homestead-Miami Speedway. Turns 1 and 2 and turns 3 and 4 do not drive the same. Journeau having a hard time holding the middle there in 3 and 4 from the looks of it, and Carroll will bring a run right back to him. The lead is shrinking big time. 1.3 seconds now. Back to Jan Van Leer, who may have just been lying in wait. Could very well shortly have battles for first, third, and for fifth, with only 7 drivers out on the track, as we've had retirements from Cunningham, Rosenwald, and Rosenberg rather, and Anderwald. Matthew Wilson running in a distant 7th for the moment. Could be trying to stretch it on fuel, maybe. We'll see. Gap for the lead is now inside of a second. Jan Van Leer has closed this gap dramatically. Elson trying to get back through on Scott Patton to get up on the podium. We are definitely within the fuel window to make it to the end anytime these drivers want to come in. As we're getting close to the halfway mark of the race, Ellison and Patton side by side. Elson drifted up the track just a little bit. Patton wiggling up to avoid some contact. And meanwhile, here's JVL. I'm in the Haviland 28. Ellison going to get through on Patton. Here is Jan with a wiggle, but he's looking underneath Gunter. At least taking a peek here down the backstretch. Oh, Brody struggling there on entry. Jan is going to get underneath. Scott Patton is pulling the ripcord. He is coming to pit road as the leaders are side by side. Nathan Carroll coming with him. New leader for the first time this evening. It will be Jan Van Leer. Brody Gunter's led every lap from the outside pole. But not anymore. "15-second stop for Scott Patton. Nathan Carroll with a 15-second stop as well, and they are both on their merry way. So when does everybody else come? I would imagine Patton already staying out, or already jumping the gun here by about 2 laps over anybody else, is going to net him the lead. It's just a question of whether he'll be able to hang on to it or not. Here comes Jan. Your race leader going to bring in Jordan Jorno with him. Gunter and Ellison going to stay out for at least another lap. Matthew Wilson also coming in, so that will kibosh a potential fuel save strategy for Wilson. Gunter staying out another lap. Paul Ellison is coming in this time. So it's going to be Gunter against everybody on the overcut here as we are on the halfway lap of the event. Again, just a little Sunday fun day thing. ICRca at Homestead-Miami Speedway. It's a Max V versus Venom sort of event with Patton and Carroll taking on Gunter, Ellison, and Jorno. Gunter slowing in 3 and 4, and that is his cue to hit pit road as he's trying to maximize his entry there, sliding those tires. So it is a 1.3 second lead for Scott Patton on 2 lap older tires than Jan Van Leer. "15 seconds flat for Brody Gunter, but there goes Patton and there goes Jan Van Leer around the 24. So Gunter will have the freshest tires here, but he will have some time to make up, being dropped in at 3rd. You can hear these guys fighting this right rear tire on throttle, on corner exit. Lap car coming up for Scott Patton, I believe, is going to be Matthew Wilson, and it is. Wilson with a little air time here as well. 1 1/4 second advantage for Patton on Jan. As Wilson will migrate down the track. Here's Patton through. Lap times this time around 33.60 for Patton, 33.53 for Jan Van Leer, and a 33.15 for Brody Gunter. That's the purple lap of the race, and it is 0.4 of a second faster than Jan Van Leer and 4.5 tenths quicker than Scott Patton. .25 to go. And for Brody Gunter now to the lead, less than 2.5 seconds, 1.6 seconds up to Jan Van Leer. I'll tell you one thing, these two are going to make each other work for it, but they can't make each other work too hard because Brody Gunter is still closing. The lap times have leveled off a little bit, but he is still making up good time on these two. Well, that was scary. Don't like the blink. That was unsettling, to say the least. Patton a brush of the wall there out of 4. And again, Jan advancing 0.4 of a second. With 21 laps to go. .185 into the speed trap for Patton. Jan just able to roll the middle so well. Even in dirty air. Patton running that half groove up from the bottom. Jan getting some air to the front of this nose, but not much. And quite a bit of turbulence here, this 2/10 pocket. Brody Gunter now only 1 second behind this duo. And I would imagine he'll start to close quickly now. As Jan assessing, trying to find a way through here on Patton. Remember, if we do happen to get a caution for some reason, for whatever reason, nobody has a set of tires in the pits. There's only one set provided, other than the one that you started the race on. So it is just a straight battle from here on out, whether it stays green or whether we get a caution in the mix. Yeah, swinging it out wide. Hard on the throttle there. As problems for Jordan Journeau. That will take him back to the pits. He's out of it. Ellison in fourth, Nathan Carroll in fifth, as Patton, Van Leer, and Gunter equidistant from one another. Just a couple tenths between each. Oh, this is going to be good. It already is good. If you're one of just the few people that are going to see this race, I think you're in for something special. Oh, Patton wiggles up the track. Here is Jan. They're door to door, and they are punching a big hole for Brody Gunter behind him. Three cars under a blanket here on our Sunday Fun Day, ICRca at Homestead. Patton has the advantage on the outside. Gunter going to take it to the wall and make it 3 wide for the lead. Jan is through on Patton. Gunter going to make it side by side for second. Gunter having to get out of the throttle there in the middle of the corner, but Patton is loose on exit, and that will allow Gunter to get back through as Patton tracking it down nearly to the inside wall to try and save that car. And Gunter is on the attack now, looking to regain the lead. And Gunter pitting on lap 30. He's got the freshest tires out of anybody, and he's putting them to use here. And Jan's going to make him. Wow, Jan slapping the wall with the rear end there out of tune. And Gunter is going to pounce. Coming to 11 laps to go. Brody Gunter looking to regain control of this race. JVL Fire back here on the outside. Gunter going to lead it at the line. Jan is not done yet, though. He cannot let Gunter get clear, and he knows it. Jan's going to rim ride. Momentum for Jan there a little bit loose, but he's keeping Gunter honest, and he's clear. Now back to the lead. Great defensive stand for Jan Van Leer. Now it's Brody Gunter up to the wall. You could see how loose Jan is there. Keeps tail whipping the wall out of two. Big surge of momentum just to close right back up. And that car just will not turn. 8 laps to go. Scott Patton with a problem, just lost a handful of tenths there. Gonna try and migrate to the top side of this track to reel these two in. Don't count them out yet, especially if these two get to battling. Four laps to go for Jan van Leers. Gunter's giving it everything he has. Brushing the wall out of 4. And now the gap is up to half a second. As Jan is trying to get as much distance between he and Brody Gunter as possible. Four and a half miles for Jan van Leer. 2.5 clear on Scott Patton. 0.6 of a second clear on Brody Gunter. But this car is unpredictable. This track can do whatever it wants at any given time. The fight is not over yet. Coming to 2 to go. White flag is out for Jan van Leer here at ICRca. For the final time through 3 and 4, Jan van Leer is going to survive here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Gunter brought an onslaught, but Jan van Leer is bringing home the checkers. Brody Gunter in second, Scott Patton in third, and Paul Ellison nearly caught him there at the end. As Patton, the first driver onto pit road, was fading quickly. Nathan Carroll, the only other driver to finish this race on the lead lap. Matthew Wilson in 6th, and Jordan Jorno back out onto the track just a couple laps ago. As Jorno was taking the road course there. But Jan Van Leer going to burn it down here, and why not? Well deserved. What a battle. And that was it. Okay, well, that was nice and easy then. Let's go ahead and get to a full finishing rundown here from Homestead-Miami Speedway, because why not? 60 thrilling laps from Homestead here today, and it will be Jan Van Leer who is walking away with the checkered flag when it's all said and done. Brody Gunter in 2nd, Scott Patton in 3rd. We'll talk to these 3 guys in just a second. 4th for Paul Ellison, Nathan Carroll in 5th, Matthew Wilson, Jordan Jorno, the 7 finishers. And then the other drivers that took the green flag here: Marcus Cunningham, Steven Rosenberg, and Cody Underwald. Everybody else was not actually here. So I got to switch Discord servers to talk to Scott Patton. That's the trouble of doing a race kind of like this. As we'll get... Oh boy. Why can I not pull him up? This is my Discord server. Oh, my Lord. All right, we got Scott Patton in booth 200 now, as I had to jump over from Venom into here. But regardless, podium finish here today, and what looked to be a really difficult car-track combo. Certainly, this car looked a handful in both directions.
Yeah, certainly. It's a handful for sure. So hats off to these guys for putting on a great show up there. That was a blast racing with Jan and Brody up there for the top 3. And, yeah, these cars are a handful every single corner. So once you think it's kind of getting the groove, and next thing you know, you're sideways off of corner 2 or 4 with too much gas. So took a lot of concentration the entire race, but that was a lot of fun.
I mean, what's the experience level? We see you on Thursday nights here with the trucks, but how much have you gotten to tool around with this Gen 4 car since it got rolled out?
If my paint gives you any indication, I have iRacing and number 14 as the paint. So coming from a iRacing painter himself, I don't know if I have a single lap on this, to be honest with you. Maybe the Super Speedway cars, but I haven't even put enough time to grab my own paint for myself. So, yeah, I'm a rookie here.
Well, hopefully you've snagged some notes for the notebook for Homestead-Miami Speedway on Thursday nights here coming up at some point in the Max V season. But regardless, thanks for coming out and racing with us on a Sunday Fun Day, and we'll get some shout-outs in before we let you go.
Yeah, appreciate it, Tommy. Appreciate the broadcast, especially at the last minute. These things are always fun like this, especially when the pressure's off from racing in a normal season with the normal people. So a couple names up here that I don't recognize, Jan and Paul and whatnot, so good racing around them. And I guess I gotta race. Thank iRacing, because they're on the quarter panel and the hood of the car. So thanks for iRacing, because without them we wouldn't have an iRace. So thanks for all you do, Tommy, and I appreciate it.
Absolutely, partner. We'll hopefully talk to you again on Thursday.
Sounds good. See you.
All right, now we'll jump back over to the Venom booth, and we'll go looking if they're still in here. I would imagine that they are. Yep. Why can I not? They took away my very convenient button to just right-click and move people. Why would they do that? So we got to drag them all the way down here, but it's worth it because we get to talk to Brody Gunter here on a Sunday Fun Day and a fun race at that. Congrats on the P2. And, I mean, you were pushing that car for all it was worth there on the freshest tires.
Oh, we're doing this for this race. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Why not?
Surprise interview. Yeah, I mean, it was overall fun. Thank you, Jan, for hosting this. Thank you, Tommy, for broadcasting this as well. I feel like the first run, I definitely killed the tires all the way down to 40% after just that 30-lap run.
Oh,
so you want to know what a full field run would have been like. But I feel like I did better the next run. Just still those final 5 laps after the first time. After I tried to pass Jan on the inside, it's just like the car died. So I don't know. I think it's just he's always been better at me saving tires, and he's always ICRca races, but overall I still had fun just how these Gen 4 cars drive.
I mean, you were able to put that car at least early in the runs wherever it needed to go, top side, middle, bottom. And that's kind of the joy of this car and this track as well. But I feel like I don't know. This car was an absolute handful in practice. I would imagine it just sucked to drive after a while.
I wouldn't say sucked. I mean, I've definitely driven voice, modern NASCAR in the long run, but especially the Gen 4 flight, the Spectre is probably one of the better handling long run tracks. It's definitely down to two. Out of the couple I've tested that with Texas. I think it was Lazy Texas being the worst I've seen so far. But overall, it was still fun. Like I said, thank you to everyone involved tonight, like for showing up. It was really fun.
All right, partner. Thanks for joining us here on a Sunday Fun Day, and we'll hope to talk to you again on Tuesday.
Yes, so hopefully managing to just blow up for no reason.
Okay. Let's. I found the button. They just moved it, so I didn't know where it was. Let's talk to Jan Van Leer. He's the man of the hour, not only for winning this race, but also just for bringing us all together on a Sunday. And another channel victory for you. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks. Yeah, that was a heck of a combination there.
I mean, this was definitely a slam dunk choice to put the Gen 4 car at Homestead. I mean, 3 cars under a blanket there with 10 laps to go. And you find yourself coming up on a driver on the oldest tires with the driver with the newest tires right behind you, and you were able to work through them both.
Yeah, that was an interesting scenario. I thought that Brody had it figured out. I saw him coming up behind me, and I said, "Oh man, he's been seeing what I was doing and figured it out." But yeah, I was able to make it happen.
I mean, going up to that top side there when Gunter got the positioning down low and able to work right up on that Larson line on the outside, I mean, that was, it kind of looked at the time like a last-ditch effort, but, I mean, you really seemed to have that move figured out and planned out pretty well.
Yeah, it was lucky for me that that was going into 1 and 2 because my typical line here at Homestead is rip the top in 1 and 2 and then down on the bottom in 3 and 4, and that works for me in almost every single car. And I really tried to get that to work here, and it just the bottom was working better for overall tire saving. But I knew I had that high line in the back pocket, and so I'm glad that I was able to pull it out there and that it worked. Yeah, I knew once it hooked up that I was going to have the run, so that was pretty sweet.
Well, you got the run, and here on a Sunday, brought a handful of drivers together, and some good ones at that. Quite the leaderboard at the end of it, but you're the man that ended up on top of it all after 60 laps here. So let's get some shout-outs in before we let you go.
Thanks, Tommy. Just thanks everyone that joined. Brody for a really great race. Scott was doing really well and put up a hell of a fight there. Paul and Jordan for hanging out in the chat, and sometimes it's quantity, sometimes it's quality. It wasn't a lot of people here, but we made it through the whole race with no yellows, and that's awesome. And thank you, Tommy, for suggesting that we do something.
Certainly high quality here on a Sunday afternoon. Hopefully my races stop getting rained out in real life. But I guess if this is the consolation for that, maybe we could do it again sometime in the future. But regardless, congrats on the victory here, and thanks again for bringing us together. And go celebrate this one, and we'll hope to talk to you again on Tuesday.
Thank you.
So we'll send you on back up to the chat, and that's all we got for you. I'm not going to talk too much longer here, as it is time to set everybody free here on a Sunday afternoon. And thanks for everybody that was hanging out with us in the chat. Robin Mondachek stopped by. Anybody else that was watching along, greatly appreciate it. We'll see you for some racing action with a lot of the same drivers that we saw here tonight on Tuesday and Thursday this coming week. Tuesday night. It is the Venom Truck Series at 5 Flags, which is going to be very interesting. Catch us there at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And Thursday night, it's the Max VCNC Home Designs Truck Series, always electric. Catch Scott Patton, Nathan Carroll, and a whole host of the best that we have to offer here on Turn 200 from Charlotte Motor Speedway at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time this coming Thursday night. Keep your eye out for the Daredevil Series coming back at Indianapolis Motor Speedway August 27th. We'll have one night of recruitment races the Wednesday before that, so I guess that would be August 20th coming up here in a week or so. So keep your eyes out for the return to the Daredevil Series coming up in the next couple of weeks on Wednesday nights. And that's all we got for you here. On behalf of everybody that was out here today, I'm Tommy Cook saying so long, and congratulations to Jan Van Leer, winner of the ICRca race here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Have a good night, everybody. This has been a live broadcast on Turn 200. Be sure to hit subscribe and hit the bell to get notified of when we go live next. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.